Guys, I'm back for another series here. What I want to kind of go over is the box jump. Some ways that we do it, especially with CrossFit. This is something we get a lot of slack on because traditionally box jumps or plyometric work was less as a back end of a workout. They were done in really small sets with a lot of rest. We just totally changed the game. Very common to see workouts with 50 to 100, even on the high end 150 box jumps in a workout. Now, they all have its purpose, and I think they all need to understand where the current level of fitness is for each athlete, how much box jumps they have under the belt, that sort of stuff. But just for landing mechanics' sake, let's talk about some differences, how we incorporate it into our group classes. So first and foremost, we talk about the landing mechanics of the box jump. It has the same similarities as the initiation to the squat. Now I'm going to say that again because it's super important. The box jump, the way that we incorporate it here, has the same mechanics as the initiation of the air squat. So if I were to perform a squat, right, or what we call or imply squat, unless we would imply back squat, front squat, overhead squat, those derivatives that would imply some object, typically the barbell or some other utility. But for this sake, let's speak about the air squat. This would look like an air squat here. Let me do it on the box to make it even more effective to see. Now if I teach that same thing, if I teach that same mentality as, hey listen, when you get up to the box, I want you to treat it as a mini squat, then it starts to click a little bit for them, right? And what I mean for that, when we teach the squat, we're teaching a few things. We're talking about how far away they should have their feet set up, where their knees should be in alignment to their toes, how their chest should be up and their back should be flat. These are all good mechanics, squatting or box jumping. So let me show you that, right? If I show you what a squat looks like, and I just shortchange that motion into a mini squat, that's my land. And so we want to create that understanding with our athletes because we squat all the time. That squatting motion is very effective and safe. Let's apply it to the box jump. It would look like this. From the front. The other really effective cue that I've used for a really long time is knees high and fast. A lot of times, especially with women or higher box jumps in general, there's a fear of height. And so when I can think about driving my knee high and fast, almost to my chest, or knees to chest is another one I use, it creates clearing space underneath me. Now that's something I want to do through the jump. We also understand that someone can't jump unless they dip. So dipping is obviously the initiation of it. But if an athlete's not struggling with the dip, it's the clearing room. So if I can say, listen, we got to drive those knees high and fast when you take the jump, it really starts to get them to understand about the importance of that speed. So here's what that looks like. Knees high and fast. See, I'm exaggerating there. There's obviously much clearing space there. When we're teaching athletes that, that's where you want to start. Now, if an athlete doesn't even know if they can meet the 20-inch standard, you have to give them something lower. Meet them where they're at. What's the worst case scenario? That they do hit it, but over time, that looks super easy, then you start adding height. We always want to meet athletes where they're at. Start with this easiest form, its easiest scale, and move and progress its way into something more advanced. So knees high and fast, other one's appropriate landing. Now with CrossFit, what you'll see is you'll see these done at high reps for speed. And what we call that is a pogo jump. Just like remember those old pogo sticks like this? Those are the type of mechanics that they use getting on and off the box. Now this is a very aggressive form of box jumps, meaning it's sheer, it creates sheer, major tension on these calves, Achilles. Those things need to be understood, especially for beginner athletes. The pogo style is not something we want. What we want to encourage for them is a step down, what you saw me do. It's zero shear here. They're not taking that major impact from the box to the ground. We want to stay away from that. Now, if an athlete is super advanced, they're competing, they're high-performing athletes, we might want to go into that pogo style. But again, it has its technicality, and I'll show you that. You can see it's really aggressive. It takes a lot more balance and coordination and accuracy to take that jump, but that is an option. The other thing you saw me do that we try to include with our athletes is leading with the arms, right? This thrust helps me initiate through that jump. There might feel that form of weightlessness or assistance. I've seen this a lot in collegiate strength conditioning fields where these coaches will teach us to drive, or they do a visualization technique where they do this. You've seen this a lot. You see that a lot with long jump as well, static long jump. Combine stuff, you'll see collegiate athletes, they visualize this before they go. It definitely offers assistance in flow. Flow is important, right? Flow is super important. So, but most importantly is those landing mechanics. Now, the same way I would jump on is the same way I step off, because I still want to set myself in this phase. We want something we call transferability, like setting the feet. We don't have special feet steps when we take the box jump versus the squat. There's that hip width, shoulder width stance that we're going to initiate everything from, right? Because it's a good transfer to moving through the squats. It's a good transfer to front squats and overhead squats. It's got that ability to make these improve and make these other movements better. So knees high and fast, landing mechanics, treat them like we do with the air squat. Use some hand assistance and preference for pogo. Do you take it? Do you step down? I think long-term stepping up and down is important. Near competition phases, CrossFit Open, regionals, CrossFit Games, you're going to see them pogo all the time. But